Today's video is going to go over some simple macros that can really make your life easier as a Warlock. As a side note, we don't want to actually put spell ranks usually in the vast majority of these unless noted, because the game will automatically cast the highest rank that you have learned. Also, these macros will be in the description if you would like to copy and paste them and use them for yourself. So without much more to the intro, let's dive right into the pet control macros. Starting off, we have 4 macros to make controlling certain aspects of the pet easier. The first is a simple passive follow macro that will make your pet instantly stop whatever they're doing and run back to you. If there was one macro you take from this video, this should be it, because no one likes a Warlock that can't keep their pet under control. And that's part of the reason why they call hunters huntars, and you don't want to have that reputation yourself. The next macro is an all-in-one pet ability, macro chaining Voidwalker Sacrifice, Succubus Seduce, and Fell Hunter Silence all in one macro depending on whatever pet you actually have out. It's very useful to cut down on your key bindings. The third macro we have for this section is specific to the Fell Hunter for later phases, but allows you to use the Fell Hunter's Devour magic on yourself to cleanse your magic debuffs while still keeping your target, bypassing the annoying need to change several clicks together to achieve the same action. And lastly, again for the later phases, we have the Fell Domination macro. If you don't like the Voidwalker, just replace it with whatever pet you do prefer and keep it on an oh crap keybind. Moving on to the next section though, we have Amplify Curse macros. This section is going to be pretty short, but these macros are pretty simple, just allowing you to basically set and forget Amplify Curse in your rotations. There's a small downside to this though, in that if you were trying to save it for a specific person or a specific phase, etc., the Amplify Curse will be cast the moment it is off cooldown if you use this macro, so it won't actually be able to be saved. But we think the benefits of having it be used all the time and doing a lot more damage all the time outweigh those edge case scenarios where you would want to save it. It works obviously for both Curse of Exhaustion and Curse of Agony. This next section is going to go over how to be able to make it so you never have to replace the spells on your bars again when you get a higher rank. And you can be a mad lad like me and basically make a special macro for this setup for all your offensive spells, so you never have to worry about replacing any spell ranks ever again, or you can only do it for select key spells. Also, this is how you would set up something if you didn't like the all-in-one rune button design that Blizzard has created. For example, I prefer to keep my meta to like F5, but my Chaos Bolt be Control 5 because that's what my muscle memory is from Wrath of the Lich King. So I just created a macro like the example, but replaced Shadow Bolt with Chaos Bolt, and now I'm good to go. And you can do the same with Haunt, Incinerate, etc. Lastly, the other things that you can add on to the future are on-use trinkets like TOEP, ZHC, etc. to further reduce your keystroke requirements. But basically how it works is you just take hashtag show tooltip space, whatever your spell is, Shadow Bolt, Incinerate, Immolate, Corruption, Curse of Agony, etc. And then the second line is just /cast space, whatever that spell is. And then you never have to worry about a spell rank again because the game will automatically default to casting whatever the highest rank that you know is. This is more for the fun of it than anything, and just a simple way to get some eyes on your summon portal, but a nice summon macro can help you get eyes and get people clicking faster. And this was the one that we basically used all through Vanilla Classic to Wrath of the Lich King Classic. And if you come up with something silly enough, you might even be able to make someone laugh. In Vanilla, unlike Wrath of the Lich King, you can pack your inventory full of shards, but if you don't like it, you can set up this macro so that it will check how many slots are in your 4th last bag slot, and then when you create a shard over that container while you use this macro, it will automatically delete that shard. I personally like to have as many soul shards as possible, even if it overtakes whatever bag that I have limited. Like right now I have a 12 slot soul shard bag, but you know, if you don't like that, then this macro is for you. Here are a bunch of all-in-one stone macros. For all of them, you'll want to replace on the line the hashtag show tooltip space with whatever highest rank spellstone or soulstone that you have, so that way you can get the icon to update and show properly. So for example, in this one, the highest rank at this phase that we have is the lesser hellstone. So I use hashtag show tooltip space lesser hellstone, but like if we were at level 60, I would want that to say hashtag show tooltip space major hellstone, and etc, etc. However, if the icon isn't showing properly, it will attempt to still use the strongest hellstone first or soulstone, and then if you don't have the strongest one, it will then keep checking for whichever one you do have and use it. The Spellstone macro though is for future phases when you can start a BG with the Spellstone equipped and make it easier to re-equip your wand after you use the Spellstone. Because unfortunately you can't make an all-in-one macro to have a wand equipped, then on a short notice re-equip the Spellstone, use it, and then instantly re-equip your wand like we have with the Devour Magic macro from the first section, because the Spellstone has a 30-second cooldown when it's first equipped. And lastly, these are just a couple of miscellaneous macros I made to help search for a few target NPCs like Jed and Ubers, or Gesharahan in the Wailing Caverns area for the blue fire damage offhand at level 25. The others for max level as well, for a quick way to just burn through your Bijus and rep tokens when ZG becomes relevant at the ZG altar and Stranglethorn Vale. And closing it out, hopefully some of these macros were useful to you and help make your life easier as a Warlock player in Season of Discovery. If you ended up liking the video, why not give us a thumbs up and a sub? Otherwise, thanks for tuning in and have a good night.